Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Bedford County Live. It is March 18th, the year 2024. I'm David Thomas, and to my side is Mr. Bo
Hello,
Gill.
how are you?
And we're here tonight to talk about a specific topic, and we'll get into it in a little while. But before we get into that, I just wanted to point out that we do have an alert posted on the Shelbyville Now Facebook page. There's an Amber Alert for two Bedford County children. Their names are Journey Garrett, 9 months old. 2 years old, and Daly Garrett, 9 months old. And it's alleged that the non-custodial mother, Casey Campbell, that lives in Powell, Alabama, has the children, and they are on Amber Alert looking for these children. And if you know their whereabouts, contact the local sheriff department, police department, or the TBI. There is an Amber Alert. We just wanted to bring that up because that is an urgent situation. Bo, it's gotten a little cold.
It is cold. As you noticed, I've got the jacket back on tonight. It's that time. I mean, look, we're going to get into.
No, it's not. It's supposed to be warm.
Well, March is madness. They say is not only basketball; it's the weather because
it is,
snow
right?
might come. Yeah. You never know. But it's that time of volatility, I guess I should say. But we go from sunshine to winter. That's Tennessee. Just calm down, take a breath. We'll be back in the normal spirit of things soon. But yeah, if you do have any plants, or if anybody got ahead of the game to plant or get some vegetables out, make sure to cover those tonight. It's going to be in the 20s, in the high 20s, I believe, tonight. So just stay bundled up, check your pets, all that stuff, because obviously winter is not over yet.
No. And we want to thank our sponsor tonight, Dennis Young Insurance, here in Shelbyville. Let's pause, and we'll get into everything right after this.
All right.
What you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a rate lock advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
All right, welcome back. And John Hart has pointed out that it's 39 degrees and dropping. Yes, John, we just came in out of the cool, and it's going to get down there pretty good.
Probably hang in there, John.
Have some frost tonight. Well, tonight, Bo, we will talk about something that's kind of in your wheelhouse, and I know it's been in the news recently. And, of course, this is something that Bedford County is looking at, and probably this whole area of the country, is real estate situations. And what I want us to talk about tonight is going back to 2015, how the prices of homes in this area, specifically Bedford County, have increased, and then take a look the same time frame, how much our median income has changed here in Bedford County, and compare those two numbers, because it's very it's
very eye-opening, to say the least. We've been looking at these numbers here for the past few days, and this is something we've thought about to bring to y'all because it is eye-opening. And although this is what I do on a daily basis, I'm a real estate appraiser. We're all involved in if you're a homeowner, you're involved in the real estate industry. And to see some of these numbers here from 2015.
Well, let's do this, Bo. Why don't you tell us what the average cost of a home was in Bedford County for 2015?
In 2015, the average cost of a house here in Bedford County, the sales price average was $114,000.
Okay. File that away. $114,000 in 2015.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's what I want to take a look at. In 2015, the average family income, the median family income, that's not the average. The median means that's the middle of the road. The average is somewhat less than this because there's more people that make less than this. So the median income was $41,525 for a family unit. Okay. Now that's, I think our average fell in at about 38,000 and some change for the total average. So you've got that price. How much?
The median price on 2015 is that what you're talking about?
Average sale price.
The average sales price was $114,000. $114,000
on about 38,000 of income.
Yes,
all right. So
yes.
Now in 2015, the mortgage, the average house payment for that $114,000 house was $836 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got 38,000 of annual income per family on average. Median was 41,325, and the monthly payment for the home average was $836
on $114,000.
Okay. Now let's gradually look.
Okay.
Well, let's just don't gradually. Let's go from 2015 to 2023 or 2024.
Okay.
The latest numbers.
Let's do the latest. I've got the latest numbers.
Okay.
Here. The latest numbers. This is last month's report, February 2024. The average sales price in Bedford County is $327,000.
Okay, so that same house that was $114,000 in 2015 is now 300 and how much?
27,000.
Okay,
almost a 50% increase.
All right, and the last report we have is from 2023. On the median income was $57,410, and the average was just a little over 50,000. Now that average is everybody's total added up. Median is the middle of the road.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we have $51,000 to make a mortgage payment, which is the average mortgage payment of $1,541. So the average from 2015 to today, or actually 2023, $836 to $1,541. That's a 54% increase in your house payments on average.
On average. And look at I think the biggest telltale sign here is the median income. The average income has not.
Yeah, the average income.
The average income has not gone with the market, the real estate market.
As a matter of fact, it's gone up 27% compared to the mortgage was 54%. So my question for everybody out there, how does a family afford housing today in Bedford County? Period. Just how do you do it? How do people do it? Are people struggling? And we want to hear from you guys.
Yes. And then throw in the cost of just average commodities, gasoline, groceries, healthcare, things that you need in your life, with trying to not only own a home, the rental market is also out of sight. There are newer houses here in Bedford County, here in Shelbyville, asking for $2,000 a month a rental. And if you're just starting off, either the rental market and especially the homeowner market, I don't the numbers don't add up, especially with the income here in Shelbyville.
No, in Bedford County.
In Bedford County.
The city is actually lower than those numbers.
Right.
The city was like way down.
Yes.
It's like 15% less than the average county.
Right.
So you got more money being made in the county. Okay.
Yes.
Now, Lisa Hillis comes in. They don't. When I ask that question, how do they do it? They don't. Okay. Bedford County Live prime time, baby. Let's go. Hey, Brendan Taylor, hadn't seen you in a little while. You've been playing hooky from us.
Yep.
Glad to see you back in there. But here's my question. How long does this sustain, Bo? How does our inventory look today compared to what it looked like, let's say during COVID?
During COVID, the inventory supply currently is, as of February 2024, the active inventory is 119 houses for sale. Now, during COVID, you had, let's say 2020, the inventory average was 123. So you see that it hasn't changed, but the 2021 is where the really impact of COVID hit. And that was our active inventory, 50.
You got down to 50. So now you've had an increase in the last few years, pretty steadily up. Fast, you're up to about a 3.5 month supply.
Through 21 and 22, it stayed low. Then it started going back up in 23, and now here we are at 119.
Right. When are these prices going to start coming down, Bo?
Well, the crystal ball says no.
No, seriously. Ball, I mean, you got to be able to.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm surprised of right now with this income to sell to home price ratio is there's not any. Well, there's not many or any foreclosures in the market in our market right now. You would think that there would be a lot of more foreclosures because of this. So apparently people are making it somehow.
Okay. Josh Blevins brings up a good point. Most of the people moving into my neighborhood are coming from out of state or commuting to jobs out of the county.
That's exactly right.
And that's the thing. We've turned into a bedroom community.
That's exactly what these numbers tell us, because it is not economically possible to to have the income we have and to support the
Right.
housing that we currently have and the numbers that we have. It's just not so just like Josh says, they're moving from out of state, and they don't mind driving 30 or 40 miles to work, and they're going to Nashville, they're going to Murfreesboro, and then they're coming back here.
Okay, let's think about something else too. You said rental, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How many bedrooms was that? 3-bedroom?
That's
home?
a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
$2,000.
$2,000.
But the average mortgage is $1,541. It'd be cheaper per month if you can qualify to get a mortgage.
It's just
Then it would be the rent. So the rental is way out of whack.
It is, but it's it's the convenience store mentality.
Yeah, Donna Smith. Okay, this is what I was fixing to bring up, Donna. 2 businesses announced they're closing today: the Brass Lantern and Grace's. Everyone is struggling. And the reason everyone is struggling is because of the numbers that we have right here, and the people that are buying these homes that are traveling back and forth to Murfreesboro, Franklin, or wherever it may be, aren't spending money in Bedford County.
They're not.
They're not supporting these local businesses. And if we do not get people that move to Bedford County, support Bedford County businesses, we're never going to have all these things that everybody wants because they're not getting supported.
And if anybody had been in the Brass Lantern, which is one of the businesses that closed, and there's Gracie's Ice Cream that was right next door to it. This place was a no frills type of place. It was nice. They had nice, neat decoration outside. I think the horses and the Blues Brother and everything. It was a really neat place, but apparently it was too neat and too nice for Shelbyville to support because they weren't in business that long. I happened to go by. I would go in there every now and then.
And did you notice one thing? They said reason for closing: lack of business.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It wasn't like that they were moving or anything like that. It's just lack of business.
Lack of business, lack of people coming in and wanting to buy things from them. Now, there could be what that was an individual type. They had little booths, and everybody, there's a lot more people than just the people that own that involved.
Okay.
It's a lot of people.
Lisa brings this up, and you wonder why people are homeless, but the city and county are building for the people that are rich. Well, now a $325,000 house is not for a rich person. That's just like low middle.
Yes, that is
low middle or maybe middle.
That's probably
income.
That's an average.
And
house.
That's crazy because I look at some of the houses that are selling for $325,000, and you could ram your fist through the side of one.
A 2,200 square foot house out in the county, brand new, will be about $480,000 right now. If that gives you.
All right, let's see. Brendan, I bet if the Brass Lantern put on a concert and charged $2,500 a ticket, it wouldn't be closing. I bet it would be empty.
Yeah.
Brendan, I don't know where those people are coming from. Obviously, they're coming from a different planet than I live.
They're not coming from White Street. I guarantee you.
Okay, Emily says we don't have the people in Shelbyville to shop at those places. I rode through Union Station the other day. I was amazed how many homes are there. Okay, Dennis Grider, not true for everyone, not spending locally. I work in Nashville, spend almost all money here, just drive there and back. I get it. There are some people that do, but the problem is that the majority are not.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, I tried to spend my money here too, but if that was working on a whole of everybody,
it's not a large scale situation.
It's not a large scale situation, and I think that especially our younger younger population with families, they do tend to go towards to Murfreesboro.
In the last week, I've heard of 3 eating establishments that are not the ones counted today, not Gracie's, but 3 others that are on the verge of trying to decide whether to stay open or not. And they're locally owned businesses, not chains, but locally owned.
And yet we've got 2 McDonald's. So that's another place where our money goes. We ought to support local. I've been guilty of it myself, fast food and a little bit cheaper, but if you pay a little bit more, you get a little bit more quality, and you're again supporting your neighbors.
Yeah. I keep hearing maybe we need a steakhouse. Now, I just don't see how you would be able to sustain.
I would love to have another steakhouse.
Yeah, but there's only going to be a handful of people go support it.
And they will. And here's the thing that people forget about. Yeah, it'd be great to have it, but this is a business, and you're in business to make money.
They got to make money, and everybody expects them just to feed everybody for cheap. Yeah. And you can't do cheap and have good quality, like you were saying earlier. I just don't think economically right now anywhere. I mean, it's tough on the average citizen.
Yeah, and then you go to someone that wants to open a steakhouse. Well, their overhead is so high because meat is outrageous. Steaks are outrageous. They're having to put this other overhead expense to the consumer, and then all of a sudden the consumer doesn't show up because it's too much, and they would rather get the cheaper, faster food, and then that is why they do not succeed.
Yeah, and Emily brought this up. She said she noticed that a lot of this particular place, the Brass Lantern, had a lot of out of town cars parked there because locally most people are just getting by and they're shopping at Dollar General, Walmart for necessities.
Yeah, they are.
And I get it. I mean, you go to Walmart, it's always, I mean, it's always packed
they've
out.
got it. They've just got it. They get the cheap materials. They can bring it in. They can pay the lower worker, the employees. They can pay them at the lowest. But you don't get the quality. So good luck trying to figure out what works or where this and that is.
One other important statistic that I found while I was looking up these average salaries and so forth. I did come up across the poverty level for most areas around, and Bedford County is running at about 14.5% poverty. I don't know what poverty is considered now, but that's a high number, however you look at it.
It's very high.
And going back to, I think there's a lot of single people right now that are pooling their resources together, are still living with family instead of getting out because they just can't afford rent or they can't afford a house on a single income now.
No, they can't. And it's really tough to consider these things when just a few years ago we were experiencing one of the best economies that I've ever seen in my lifetime. And to know that it was just that far away, and to see what a COVID and what a presidency that's out of hand can do, and a country that's almost out of hand can where it can go in 3 or 4 years is just mind-boggling. Gasoline prices are so volatile. It'll be $2.70 one day, and today I saw it at $3.39. I don't know where to start or where to begin. And this is just this is so hard. This is affecting us on a personal level every day. It's affecting my wallet. It's affecting your wallet. And all I got to say is to hang in there, because we're all experiencing this. But also, it's time for a change coming up here pretty soon. And if you want to watch the big media and all that and get brainwashed over that, then go ahead, be all for it.
All right.
But if you're not, then it's time to join, and we've got to make a change somehow.
All right. So back to a question I asked you a little bit earlier, and we kind of moved away from it. Yeah. When does this real estate bubble pop here in Bedford County, Bo? Well, I mean, when do these prices recede back? Inventory levels are going up. Typically, when you see that and you notice some rent prices that come down just a little bit, they're still way out. They're still out of line. Yeah. When do we see this recede, let's say 20%? Or do we?
Well, you would think we would have already seen it, the way that the numbers are and the way historically we are here in Bedford County. It usually it'll go, it'll come. We've been at an uptick now for a pretty good while. To tell you the truth, I would expect it sooner rather than later. But I know that the election will have probably a big impact on this. And I would say that around next year, there will probably be some type of there has to be some type of relief in the market.
You would think it would be starting that right now.
Well,
inventory levels up,
or last week, but it seems like it's hard to figure out now. We've got the heads coming in here. We've got the bodies coming in here still. So apparently the cash flow's coming in.
Because say that again now. Who's coming in?
Well, I'm not saying growth. I'm saying the heads are coming in. The bodies.
Yeah. Listen, Laura Blake says this: Sheffield isn't a rich town to begin with, and anyone with money isn't shopping here. Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole deal.
You're shopping here for your necessities.
And Connie Hasty, I hate to say it, but I'm afraid we're in for worse times. And Connie, that's kind of what this program is headed towards saying tonight.
Yeah,
we've got a rough few months ahead. And then after the election, I don't know how long it'll take to turn around. And Laura, this is a bedroom community. You're 100% right.
Nationally, in Florida, there have been more an uptick in foreclosures in some of your heavier markets. But I'm really surprised not to see that many currently. There just are not many. Just to go back to that issue, that's typically when you start being able to notice when the market is changing. You'll see a few indicators, and that is always one. And right now, currently, the foreclosures are non-existent or very low.
That's gonna change, I do believe. All right, Dennis Grider. Big changes in realtor commissions from a recent ruling will affect home sales one way or another. May help buyers, but hard to predict. That's still up in the air. We were going to mention that possibly if we got to that. But this National Association of Realtors settled a lawsuit for $415 million.
Yes.
And they're setting a precedent for where there's going to be competition in the real estate, especially for the selling broker.
That's exactly. Well, and for the buyer, for the buyer's agent, it won't be set like 3-3 anymore. They'll be able to negotiate their own terms, and it all stimulated it all came about from a lawsuit out of Missouri. It was called the Stitzer-Burnett case, and it has not been settled and closed yet, but it'll be coming up, I believe, in June or July. But all indications appears that they've made a settlement, and you can look up a lot of information on that. But what this will do is it will be good for the consumer, for the home buyer.
All right, Brendan Taylor. There's a difference between shopping antique, boutique, unique collectors items and groceries, though. Definitely. If a section of Bedford County population, arguably the majority, is financially limited to buying only necessities, can we really fault that section? No, that's what we're getting to, Brendan. The demographics are just not here to support the local business.
And I think someone said that there were a lot of out-of-town tags usually.
Yeah, and all the discount stores are chain stores. They're not locally owned.
Yeah, and they market these antique stores or these booths out of state and out of region. You'll see a lot of outside people there coming on Saturday afternoons to these type, but it's not enough to sustain it.
All right, Laura Blake. Chevrolet is in the process of changing permanently, and we need to accept that. The fantasy that people have that things will be as they were before is only going to prolong the inevitable. And here's the thing about that, Laura, it will change as long as we sell out to it. There are some things that don't need to change about Shelbyville. Cleaning the place up and taking pride in our property and strong, solid growth can be accomplished if we set our minds to it and do it, but we have not. We're taking. People are selling out.
They are. This is a strong community. We do have a strong sense of community. It's not like a Gallatin outside of Nashville, like a little go through here. Yeah. We're our own community, and yes, there are changes coming. But we're still keep our identity of who we are. And I see what she's saying. You know, the industry, the things that are coming in, it's going to look different.
Well, there's no industry coming.
Well, not industry, but the businesses that are coming in. You know, we've got the new TCAT school. We've got
that's going to help us with our workforce.
We got nearest. You know, that stuff is the change that we're seeing. We got the racetrack.
There ain't no racetrack,
and
that's not happening.
But that's what she's saying now. And then, you know, it's almost like that the developers, other people want us to be a drive-through like a Gallatin or something like that.
Well,
that's not who we are.
You got this. I saw it. It was in the Tennessean, where there's an investor that we all know that's going to invest $100 million in changing the landscape of Shelbyville. That excites a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
I'm not excited about it.
It greases a lot of hands, but then again, you know, you can sell your soul or your town if you want to.
Stephen Jordan, all conservative Republicans need to get out and vote. We outnumber the Democrats.
Yes.
4,000 vote or less. Yeah. We've got 29,000 registered voters. 4,000 or 5,000 people show up, and we wonder why things are where we are.
And they made it so easy now. You can early vote. You can't blame it on I was sick that day or anything. You know, be responsible, be an American, and vote, regardless of your party affiliation.
All right, Laura, I'm talking about being a bedroom committee. That's what we are. We're just at that distance to where you've got 50 miles and you can get to all this big stuff. So it's not going to come here. And the people that invest the money to bring stuff like that here better have a big pot of money to lose.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's what's going to happen.
We are who we are, and we need to take care of what we got, and we need to welcome change if it's good for
Connie
Bedford County.
You've said it. People are selling their souls out, 100%.
Grease the palms. Grease the palms.
Brendan Taylor, is ballot having legal in Tennessee yet? You ballot harvesting, I think is what you're trying to say. Oh,
I've got a.
That's a broad definition.
I've got a garden full. I'm harvest. I got a big harvest coming in.
Okay, all right. Vote early and vote often. That's what the Democrats say.
That's what they say, and they say to the
All right,
dead.
I'm
too.
just picking. I don't know.
Yeah,
there
no,
might be.
I don't
there
know.
might be some.
And I don't have a garden of
non-conservatives listening, and we're just joking.
Of course,
Sort of.
tongue in cheek.
All right, so we bring up the voting block of being so small, but we have so many. I just wonder how that's going to change with this year's president election.
Well, and
we had about 8,000 vote the year Trump won, I believe, if I had to look back.
That's right. But the apathy that could be involved since then because of the past contested election we have, how is that going to, what are we going to see from that?
There's a lot of people that just don't trust
They
it.
don't. And that, I think that there's going to be a number, we're going to be able to see that. So if you're that person, I advise you to keep the faith in America.
Well, I will say this, Tennessee, I trust Tennessee. They've got everything on paper now. I don't know if you noticed when you voted this last time, it looks like a little cash register receipt running in that machine and it's printed out.
Yes.
So I think it is sort of foolproof. You have voter ID in Tennessee. You can't just walk up and say, I want to vote.
Right.
If you do that in Kentucky or if you do that in New York, they're going to say, sign right here and vote for this guy.
Which is a violation of the Constitution, seems to me.
Well, I mean, you got to be a citizen, but there's some states that are allowing non-citizens to vote.
They are.
And you cannot compete because all of those are going one way.
That's
all right.
Anti-American.
Emily, people that never vote need to come out this time. That's who we need so bad. People that think their vote doesn't matter. We need to reach out to them. Well, 2006 is our next big election.
2026.
2000.
Yeah, that was a good one. In 06, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good year. But in 2026, we have a county election. We have a city election here in 2024.
Yeah, coming up.
3 council members.
Yes.
Which is very important.
Very important.
That we vote, and anybody in the city can vote that lives in the city or I think owns property in the city now.
That's right.
They will let you vote.
If you declare your district of your house is in, you can.
Right. Let's see, Connie Hasty. If we lose our country, it will be our own fault. Connie, here's my question. Have we already lost it? And we're trying to fight for it back. I would contend that we have lost it and we're fighting for it back.
It seems like we're getting every so many years, or we're always seems like we're fighting for it. And all I can say is keep fighting, because there's a lot of people that lost their lives, and this is just reality the way it was. They lost their lives on blood and soil on this soil to make it where it is now. And I say just keep up the good fight, keep the faith in America, and just,
that's it.
Go on.
All right, Emily, how can we reach non-voters? We got to pick them up, throw them in the car, and drag them to the polls.
Yes, get in my bus.
That's what we got to do.
Get a voting bus if you got to. I mean, I don't know. The ice cream man can pick up voters that day. He's got the microphone.
All right, here we go. Steve Jordan, dislike Trump for what he says all you want, but he did more for this country than any president before except Reagan. Yeah. We had it good until COVID. People better wake up and putting Trump back in if you love America. It looked like you said Putin there.
Well, let me get this out of the way. And I've said this before, and if you've heard it before, I apologize. But we are to vote for a president, not because of if we like him or if he thinks that he makes the best personal decisions. Now, there are a lot of things about Trump that I probably wouldn't like, and I don't know, as a person I might not. But I'll tell you one thing, is that man loves America, and I pretty much know that he has the best interest of the country collectively in what he has. The media can try to tell you everything they have. If you've not noticed it, every picture you see of Trump is a scowl. That is intended because the media is not the media anymore. It's the mouth of the government. But if you can just put aside your hate for a personality and just and put your vote in someone that you know is better for America this time, I challenge you to change your mind and to think about that.
Yeah, and that election is important. But guys, we have a desperate need for voters to get out in Bedford County and in the city of Shelbyville.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on that just totally blows my mind, that people have been brainwashed or they believe the propaganda that they see in local media to the point that it's just like sheep being herded. It blows my mind.
It is. They have. I think it's just what's happened over the years, that people just take what they say, what it is, and then they go to some sources that they think maybe are the best sources, and they're not always. Do your own research, attend the meetings, ask the questions, and come to your own conclusion.
Well, just pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, We're in a lawsuit, and I put a poll out to find out what people thought about this, and it's still ongoing. But 59% say they want our city council and our commissioners to get in a room, work it out, and don't cost the taxpayer so much money. And then there was like 37% said the city just needs to drop the lawsuit. Either one of those is satisfactory.
I'm good.
I mean, I don't need to be suing myself.
No,
I can't afford to do that, Bo.
And no, that's exactly right. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're stepping on not only one, but we're stepping on both of our feet at the same time. And
okay. All right. Here you go. If you want to keep our democracy, you better vote Democrat. We don't live in a democracy.
I love it. They always think it's a democracy, don't they?
We live in a constitutional republic and use a democratic form of voting to select our leaders. But we have a constitutional republic. For this, all right, what's the Pledge of Allegiance says? It doesn't say anything about.
I pledge allegiance to the republic for which it stands.
Yes.
I think you've ignored that part. Thank you very much.
Trump helped the walking horse industry, didn't he? I don't know, Teresa. I don't think anybody's helped the walking horse industry. If you want to get right down
he did delay some action. I will say that. There would probably been more action that would have came down because of that, because of his presidency.
We got a lot of comments coming in here. We should be more involved in county and city elections here. Look what's happening here. Are our better interest in mind with who's running this county today? How many good restaurants and businesses have been ran off? Car washes, vape stores, and Mexican restaurants. Don't get me wrong. I love Mexican food, but we all deserve something better. But the government does not put in the vape stores. I promise you. It's individual investors, and they're going to put what sales.
Supply and demand.
That's the way it is. Democrat my foot. Biden is destroying this country. All right. Micah Troyer, being as a Bedford County past resident, you have no clue how bad it is. Y'all got it made there. Some decent folks in Tennessee. I'm now in Maine. You have no clue how bad it is. You made a wrong turn, Micah.
Come back.
You should be back here.
Come back.
I'm not going to complain. I wouldn't be in Maine either.
No.
All right.
No. Well, we've got it good, but hey.
Cindy Tapley, turn off ABC, NBC, and CBS and some local Nashville channels that are affiliated with those are just as bad. They will poison your mind with the liberal garbage.
NPR, no way.
All right. Greg David, I believe several believe why vote. My vote doesn't matter. It absolutely matters. And Greg, man, you got to get up and round some people up.
That's right.
If each voter took a voter, we would double our amount of people voting.
Yes, that's right.
All right, Brian Eady, we need to get out and vote. The president's State of the Union address looked like a senior citizens convention. We need some new blood with new ideas. And yes, but start at the bottom up. Locally, we got problems we need to deal with and fix.
Definitely,
right,
but I agree with that.
You're in the wrong part of the country to vote Democrat. Last election, 76.8% voted conservative in the state of Tennessee and in Bedford County. Pretty much.
This ain't the 60s anymore. In the 60s, it was we flip-flopped.
All right, let's see. Steve Jordan, they are somewhat responsible for making business taxes higher than Tullahoma or even Murfreesboro. It is true there was going to be a Publix here, and the deal got turned down. They went to Tullahoma. Yes. And unfortunately, there's a game that gets played with some of these large corporations. You look at Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, man. My favorite fast food restaurant. Mm-hmm. But they got $300,000 to come.
They got it.
And we got local businesses closing the doors. I'll not say anymore. All right.
It's just the facts.
But guys, voting has come to the forefront in our conversation tonight.
It has.
I want to ask y'all here to respond. Do you think that the city suing the county is a healthy thing? Yes or no?
Regardless of the reasons,
y'all think about that. We're going to take a quick break from our sponsor. And we'll be back in about 30 seconds. But think about that. Should the city be suing the county? All right. Think about that. Yes or no?
What you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a rate lock advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
Okay, Steve Jordan, we've got no as an answer. Greg Davenport, no. Connie Hasty, no. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Connie, I agree with you. Absolutely not. No, it's juvenile. Thank you. No, 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 no. Stupidity. That's a good one, Donna.
No or stupidity. I think that the overwhelming opinion, I'm sure there's some that don't think that, but I think that we've got
no, it doesn't matter. These people are public.
Yeah.
They're citizens.
But it's sad that the people that are supposed to be represented, a few people in particular do think it's okay to do. And
all right, Emily, here's the thing. If they didn't sue, what would have been the alternative if the county didn't respond? At this point, it's not like a kid fighting over something in the playground with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They asked for them to unwind a contract that had been in 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get why the county should have responded and just said, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't.
No.
But I would take that answer as no. And now for the city to just keep to pursue it, I don't know what the gig is because it's going to cost us, I promise you, millions of dollars as taxpayers. And if I'm a city resident, my left pocket is suing my right pocket at this point.
Yeah, it is. It's
why
sad.
not just go beat your head against the wall?
I get it, but then again, if you're representing and you want to like not answer, I would say that you saying that's an answer, that's not an answer. You want an answer, and you hope you can be able to talk. That mayors can talk to each other, but apparently they can't.
Well, you just get in a room and say, guys,
that's
we
what
can't
I'm saying.
do that and explain their case.
That's it.
But here now, everybody's silent about it. Attorney-client privilege is what I hear. Listen, we're the clients.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
we
y'all
are
don't get
clients.
it, do you? Y'all don't get that.
All right, Laura Blake, the county needs to step into the 21st century and realize that things done 50 years ago might not be relevant today. Kind of like NATO being useless now, but it's still around. Why doesn't the city and county get along? That is a good question. And here's the way I see it. They both just need a spanking.
I think they do. I mean, there's got to
like
be
two kids fighting.
I mean, our county will flourish when they both get along, but they can't. And it's sad, and a spanking would be good for them.
I mean, somebody brought up metro government.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that would ever work. And I don't know if it even can in our county now.
Yeah.
We've got it to our southeast with Lynchburg.
Yes, we do.
Metro Moore County or Metro Lynchburg. Yes. I don't know how they can, but they make it work. Metro Nashville, they make it work. And they have other entities within, they have cities, but Nashville police have jurisdiction in those places.
That's right. They do have a sheriff's department, but they serve warrants.
Right. So you've got metropolitan governments around. And it might get to the point to where it's so costly to pay two sets of governments to where one day all cities go into a metro. I don't know.
Yeah, you would think there would be more than that in Tennessee, but
Donna, question. Has the city said why they need the money? Is there a specific need for the money? There is speculation, Donna. There's speculation that the tax decrease we had this past year has cramp things down a little bit, and they need some money for a lot of projects that are coming up. I don't know specifically, but I guarantee you they can find a place for $2 million a year if we hand it over. Now, I know our police officers, we need to expand that. We need more firefighters. We need to rebuild the infrastructure in the city if we're going to throw houses on top of each other.
And we need to maintain what we got.
All right, Connie Hasty, you have people on city council who said they would reduce taxes. Now they have themselves in another hot pot.
Yeah, that's a dangerous statement.
I would love to paddle the city council. All right.
County commission, too.
They all need a paddle.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in it, I would need a paddle it too, probably. I mean, you're in it, you get the good, you get the bad.
All right, so if you have not taken our poll on Shelbyville Now, go to Shelbyville Now under local news, and please take the poll, and please share it with somebody. Because we've got 3 or 4 more days, then I'm going to present this to the city council and the commissioners. They will probably just throw it in the trash. They don't want to hear from the people.
No.
Okay. But That's what we're going to do. We're
Yes.
trying, guys. We're trying.
We're trying for the people. That's what this is about. It's for
Greg,
the people.
you take that poll and share it. Can we as citizens not fight and stop it? If you can get your representative to talk to you and implore them to stop the nonsense and get in a room and have a kumbaya meeting, let's have a family reunion and get everybody working together.
Yeah.
But I hear derogatory comments thrown from city to county and county to city against departments.
Who does that
it's
help?
ridiculous.
Who does that help?
It hurts us. Is what it does.
Exactly. Come on, y'all. I mean, let's just do this thing. We're all in it together.
But guys, I'm just going to implore everybody that's sitting on opposite sides, reach across the aisle or across the table, shake hands, drop the nonsense, and let's try to move forward together. How about that?
Who's going to be the leader? Who's going to step up? Who's going to do that? And will your colleagues respond?
Eric
Who knows?
Maddox, elected representatives should always put we the people first. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for your
Thank
comment,
you, Brother
Eric.
Maddox. Hey, he's the one right there that will say
he
something.
has come out and expressed his disappointment
I
in
respect
the
that.
nonsense.
You got to respect that.
But nobody else has.
Nobody. Oh, well, actually, no, the city did respond to that.
The two of them.
Two of the city council,
councilmen.
Bobby Turnbow and William Christie, they did in a positive response. They have a positive communication going on. That's what we want to see.
Here's one thing. I think they ought to throw it to a referendum and just let the people decide what's done with the money.
We the people.
If they can't figure it out, we can do it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I like that. I love that comments from our local representatives there.
All right,
That's
Steve Jordan, we can stop it. It's called recalling. We are not allowed to recall in Bedford County, Steve. I've already checked into it a couple years back. You can't do a recall process in Bedford County.
Well,
that's pathetic.
I get the sentiment on there, but we've got it's time to just hold the responsibility. If they're in there for the long run, then we have to be in there. We have to do our part as citizens too. And you've got good representatives that will respond and that will talk for you. And you got some that you'll hear crickets.
Okay, Connie, let's talk about Mr. Maddox. He came out. He did not say anything about the lawsuit. He said he was disappointed that they could not talk together. And he's here and he can explain that. He did not mention anything about any of the contracts before or currently. He's just talking about he's disappointed that something couldn't be done.
People skills, basically.
Yes. It had nothing to do with the facts of the case. It was basically, and I'm reading this for him. I read his comments very carefully, and he basically said, bottom line, I'm disappointed.
That's all
that we're here.
He didn't get into the weeds at all.
And I think that they have this agreement. The city and the county can't really talk publicly about any facts about the case.
Nor should they. But
the case is out there for everybody to look at.
It is. But they're whether it be a gag order or whatever, it's a current litigation and it shouldn't be discussed by those involved. But to see talk about just how we could have talked or how he's disappointed. That was exactly what his.
I mean, it's just like what I'm saying right now as a citizen of Bedford County. I'm just extremely disappointed.
Exactly. He is too, and that's how he was speaking.
Honestly, I think the city should drop it and just move on.
Yeah. It was refreshing to see that dialogue between city council and not on the details at all. City council and the county commission. That was positive, and that's the way. Probably it could have started at the first get go, but here we are.
I mean, if they want it to fight out, let's just we can do a referendum at the end of the year, throw it on. It's going to cost a lot less than two sets of attorneys fighting with each other.
And we're already going to be paying, these statements and these letters. I mean, they ain't free.
Yeah, it's a massive amount of money that's being spent, and the
waste.
longer it drags out, the more it's going to cost. And I'm quite sure the attorneys would love to see this go for 4 or 5 years. And in 4 or 5 years, there'll be such division it can never be recovered.
That's right.
The unity can never.
And remember, we employ our representatives. So if you're not happy, let them know.
All right, guys, we need to wind things up. We went from real estate.
We went all
to a lawsuit. Sorry, we didn't stay on topic.
Don't forget about elections. We went through elections.
Yeah, we went through all that, which it all ties together. But guys, please go and take our poll on Shelbyville Now at Local News. I will present this to the city council and the county commission. Don't know if it'll get looked at, but it's valid. Right now, we've got just a little over 2,000 people who have voted on that poll.
Share it,
vote, and You can't vote twice. If you vote twice, it gets kicked out. But we appreciate you participating in that because your voice does matter. And this is one way that you can. If your commissioner or your councilman will not talk to you about this, this is a voice for you. That's it. All right.
Well,
Greg
speaking of
Davenport,
voices, we got a lot of good comments tonight.
yeah, thanks for participating tonight. And Greg Davenport, your last. Okay, Steve Jordan. When the meeting happens on the second floor once a month, we need to make a show with numbers and let them hear how we feel about our tax dollars being spent. It's our money, 100%. And Greg, time for a meeting. Let's get detailed and our ducks in a row and show up and show out. All right, Greg.
I like the
All right,
fire.
Connie. Thanks for being in there tonight, everybody.
Great comments. Great
comments.
participation.
We'll see you guys next week with some more important information for us to discuss. You
Always.
think about what you want to talk about. And remember, you can get all of the latest news and important stuff at ShelbyvilleNow.com. Go visit our website there.
And
we'll see you next week.
Thank you to Dennis Young Insurance, always as a great sponsor.
Great sponsor.